AMD's decided that it's time for another graphics card, friends. The Nintendo Switch might be getting one of Nvidia's best features, and somebody decided to take USB-C and make it ever so cursed. Let's get into the hot news, my friends. I am your host, Brett. We're going to be going into the hottest tech news that I can find across the internet, starting off with the top story of yet another GPU from AMD, this time the RX 6700. But this is not just a rumor. We now have pictures of the power color version of this card. Not only do we now know it's the 6700 Fighter coming from power color, we also know that it has 6 gigabytes of VRAM, which is less than obviously the 6700 XT currently has, but it just continues to make a weird situation where a lot of reviewers who were complaining about the 6700 XT being a paper launch were necessarily made correct when they launched at a price that was like $300 over MSRP, and now it looks like they're still just shoving more GPUs out. I saw a thread on Reddit the other day that kind of just indicated that, yeah, this GPU generation might just be a lost cause. If AMD and Nvidia keep up with development at the pace that they've been doing it, regardless of production, we might be seeing a new generation of cards come out towards the end of this year or early next year, which is likely around the same time that all of these stock issues are going to be taken care of. So what do you think? Do you think RDNA 2 and Ampere are the lost generation of cards, or do you think they'll delay the next generation so this set of cards has its time to breathe in the sun? Let me know down below in the comments. And while you're down there, I want you to click on the link for today's video sponsor, the Ridge. Obviously, you guys know that I'm traveling, and the Ridge wallet made it so that with everything I had to pack, my pants were very slim. The Ridge wallet, it's light, it's sleek, it's industrial, it doesn't fold or awkwardly bulge in your back pocket, and especially when you have to drive for hours, it's great because guess what? It's made to fit in the front pocket too. It can hold up to 12 cards, it's got room for cash, there's 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. I personally am using the matte white, and they have durable materials, so each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. You can buy this one wallet and carry it for life, and that's one of the reasons they have 40,000 5-star reviews. The Ridge team is so confident that you'll like it, they'll let you test it out for 45 days. You can send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. So check out the Ridge wallet down below at the link in the video description. You go to ridge.com/hot news and use coupon code hot news to save 10%. Again, that's ridge.com/hot news. My favorite wallet. Pack lightly, my friends. Made this trip easier. And you know who else is packing lightly? The Nintendo Switch. That's the whole premise behind the entire console, is that it's a light portable handheld. And now it looks like they're going to be getting more features for their docking station. The new report is that the OLED Nintendo Switch that we're expected to get refreshed sometime later this year is now going to feature DLSS support in order to potentially be able to play games at up to 4K. NVIDIA's DLSS, Deep Learning Super Sampling, essentially uses AI to make the pixels work better on bigger screens. Facts with Brett. You want gaming picture look good? Use DLSS. It's a neat technology, and I'm excited to see whether or not Nintendo is going to implement this, and especially if it's going to be on the actual Switch or if it's going to be in the dock. There's some indication that it'll be on the Switch, but will only activate when it has the dock power. But I will not be making a video about any of this over on UFD Tech, because screw Nintendo, they still gave us a community strike. I like their products, but I'll never talk about them again. I'm waiting for them to take down my overclocking Switch video. And now that I'm saying it, I should probably just delete it, because if I get another community guideline strike, our channel's wiped. Thanks, Nintendo. Hooray! Now let's talk about a company that I have no ill will towards, because I just don't think about them very often. Capcom has published the PC requirements for Resident Evil 8. You can see right here, minimum specs: Ryzen 3 1200, i5 7500, a 1050 Ti, or 560. Recommended specs: a 1070 or a 5700. In case you want to play 4K, you need a 6900 XT to get 60 FPS, or 3070. Apparently those are equivalent for Capcom. And what's the equivalent of shouting first in a YouTube comment? Being first. For unboxing the 11900K over on YouTube, we'll leave a link in the video description where you can check somebody who purchased it apparently at retail and now has the first unboxing of Intel's new chip that doesn't come out until next week. And I wish this news came out next week. or the week after, or literally never, because now it has apparently been known that Microsoft is buying Discord for $10 billion, which makes it more valuable than Bethesda somehow, right? Bethesda got bought out for $7.5 billion, ZeniMax deal, and now Discord's $10 billion. Microsoft, what are you doing? You're gonna ruin it just like you ruined Skype, although Skype was always bad. I mean, Microsoft, you made the Zune. Stop it. I'll trust you with video games. I'm not gonna trust you with my PC software. RIP Discord. Press F in chat, folks. And RIP you playing video games by yourself. Valve has updated Steam's remote play together, and now you can just share a link and that'll allow you to play with other people on remote multiplayer as if it was local multiplayer. It's kind of neat. They also updated a few things like streaming, which can go up to 8K now, but will default to 1080p because of 4K stuff. There's been a whole bunch of fixes there, as well as the fact that Steam Link client is now available for macOS users officially, and you can pick that up in case you're interested in that. And Acer, I'm sure, is interested in getting their servers back. Hopefully they have a backup and they don't have to pay the $50 million ransom that they got in a ransomware attack. Apparently this is a vulnerability that's been going around, but by the time that people were informed that they should have patched it, it was already too late, and the companies potentially were exploited by the time they already even found out about it, and Acer is the victim. But just make sure to back up your things, folks. And you better hold on to your bottoms, because I'm backing up into the GameStop Bitcoin update. Bitcoin having a day. 55,000, it's down 1.5%. Not much to talk about there. Let's talk about GameStop. It's just after close. $181 during the day, $184 in after hours as of the time of filming. Nothing's really happening. Tomorrow's the GameStop earnings, as actually that's today. I just filmed the evening before. Anyways, the GameStop is going up. And OnePlus has updated their phones to the next one. We now have reviews for the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. I'll leave links in the video description for you to check those out yourself. It turns out that it's pretty good. It's a OnePlus phone. They do have the new Hasselblad camera setup that's going on there, but it's not quite perfect. Again, check reviews, and KVHD obviously doing a great job as ever. Highly recommend you checking out his. Also with that, the OnePlus Watch got announced at $159. It's gonna be circular as opposed to the Apple Watch nonsense, which is like semi-rectangular. You can see the specs right here, 326 PPI. It's IP68 water and dust resistant. It's got O2 sensing, and it says that it can get up to 2 weeks of battery life. It is not using Wear OS, it's using their own custom OS, but whether or not it's gonna be any good, we'll have to wait and see. I haven't seen any reviews on this just yet. I don't trust anything Android Watch because Snapdragon Wear is just poop. And LG is in a poopy situation. It's now being reported that they are going to be pulling out of the smartphone game entirely. This is after they failed to find a buyer for their smartphone division. We reported this in Hot News several months ago about how they were seeking somebody to buy them out. That apparently didn't happen, and so they are canning their smartphone division as of right now, and other phones that we're expecting to come out are now put on hold and likely will never see the light of day. And I'll tell you what should have never seen the light of day: this USB-C gadget, which decides, hey, you know how the great thing about USB-C is that it's reversible? You can plug it in this way, or you can turn it around, plug it in that way. It's gonna work totally the same. They decided, nay, we're gonna make it so that it does whatever the hell I want. And if I plug it in this way, it does one thing. And if I plug it in the other way, it does another thing. Apparently they can do this because there is different pins on each side. Apparently there is one to indicate legacy USB 2.0 transfer, and that's how they differentiate with it. And it results in cursed things like this. And it's just time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? Which I shout at Apple all the time. Stop trying to innovate on things that really people are mostly okay with, like making your laptops thinner because you think that people want to have thinner keyboards for some reason. Didn't you just have a butterfly keyboard debacle? Anyways, there's a new patent coming out showing that Apple may potentially make a keyboard that recesses into the laptop's body when you close the screen and uses magnets to hold it in place, which is just absurd, okay? This is gonna break Apple. You done bad with the butterfly. Nobody wants this, okay? I'm okay with my keys being slightly higher. Make the chassis bigger and slap in a bigger battery. Who are you trying to impress? You have $2 trillion, you don't need to invent unnecessary stuff. Is that all this is? You're just a giant company looking to take its massive cash pile and throw it at whatever random project an engineer has in his brain? Is that what's going on, Apple? I don't know, but I'll tell you what's going on with Tinder. Get it? They are going to be apparently partnering with Lyft so that you can order a Lyft for your Tinder match in the app and get them to come over to you, or I guess meet them someplace. No word on how they're going to make this safe, or if it can be done just unilaterally where the other person doesn't consent and then there's a Lyft driver waiting outside of your house. But obviously they wouldn't have the address because that would be a security violation. I'm interested to see how this plays out and if this is ever going to be rolled out as an actual feature. You know what's not being rolled out as an actual feature to the Porsche Taycan? Wireless over-the-air updates that are free. Because they're rolling out a free update, you just have to drive into the dealership for it. It's actually kind of neat because there are new features that they implemented into the 2021 version of this car that they didn't implement into the 2020 version. So Porsche is saying, hey, this is a free update. We'll give it to you. Get all of the new features that we got coming here, but you have to drive into the dealership, even though they've stated previously that you can get over-the-air updates. Maybe they're going to be enabling it when people take their Taycans into the dealerships, or what's the point in making a $150,000 luxury electric vehicle and then still doing the worst part of the entire experience, which is what Tesla's doing with the Model S. They're apparently going to be rolling out a 7-seat version of the new Model S refresh, which Elon Musk tweeted about, saying that it's the fastest 7-seat vehicle in the entire world. 0 to 60 under 2 seconds. Absolutely absurd. 2 seats at the back, jump seats that face the rear, so if you get rear-ended, your kid's face hits the glass. Great stuff. I'm not buying this, but it's good for marketing, I suppose. And I'm not going to be buying Tesla insurance. That's because it's not rolling out to the state of Florida. However, it is expanding beyond California to Illinois, Texas, and Washington once they get permission from state regulators. So in case you wanted Tesla insurance through Tesla, you could potentially do that in those states coming up soon. And coming up soon was selling out for Lucid because they sold out of their Dream Edition of the Lucid Air. 500. That was the amount. They sold 500 of them. And I believe I've taken up more than 500 a second, so why don't you check out this episode of Hot News yesterday, which was the first episode of Hot News of the week. Get caught up. You could also check out this video, which explains why I'm in a bedroom, which apparently, according to our analytics, if people search porn, they get directly to Hot News. You're welcome.